friends, it's Harold. Did you know video games didn't just change entertainment? They changed medicine. They changed the whole medical field. A new way on how doctors train, operate, and even treat patients. Let's talk about how gaming transformed the medical field in ways nobody expected. The earliest known example of video games being used for medical purposes goes all the way back to the early 1970s, right after the video games were invented. Doctors and physiologists began experimenting with very early video games, like Pong-style visuals, to study reaction times, hand-eye coordination, and cognitive processing. These studies found that people who played simple games had measurable improvements to motor skills and focus. This made gaming one of the first digital therapy tools. And in my heart, you already know, I'd also say it's an emotional tool. One of the first official medical uses was in 1976, when clinical researchers used simple computer games for biofeedback therapy. Originally was more of a clinical application than a game. Patients would interact with the screen by using their heartbeat, their breathing rate, and their muscle tensions to control what's on their screen. Doctors use this to help treat anxiety and stress disorders. A very simple visual display usually, a dot, a moving bar, a spaceship-like shape, or a simple object rising and falling on the screen. By 1981, hospitals were using improved versions like Pac-Man-style biofeedback games, where the character only moved if the patient relaxed their muscles. Space Invader-style calmness games. Even EEG-driven maze games that's using your brain waves. It measures the electrical activity of your brain. By the late 1980s, early 1990s, gaming was being used in hand rehabilitation, in eye coordination therapy, in cognitive training, and in surgical training prototypes, using joystick-based controls. This is also when surgeons first realized that gamers had quicker, steadier hands. Time now moved fast, but games moved faster. The 2000s became a major explosion in gaming and medical fields with applications like VR pain management, Nintendo Wii physical therapy, and robotic surgery controlled with joysticks, and medical students using game simulations to further their studies. Let's talk about VR training. Surgeons now warm up with virtual operations the same way gamers use practice areas in games. Studies show doctors who train with game-style simulations perform 20 to 40% better in real surgeries. Must be a skill issue for those who can't. Here's something wild. Doctors who grew up gaming have better hand-eye coordination, faster reaction times, and more precise control during robotic surgeries. Laparoscopic surgery. It's basically using joysticks. Hey gamer, you've been trained for this your whole life. We've got Nintendo Wii, Kinect, and VR. These became legit physical therapy tools. Stroke patients relearn movement through motion games. Kids do strength training without even realizing it. And recovery speeds up because it's fun, not boring hospital homework. Doctors use games to reduce pain. There's a VR snowball fight game called Snow World that helps burn patients feel up to 50% less pain during treatment. Why? because the brain focuses on the game instead of the pain. Do you know someone who may suffer from anxiety, maybe PTSD or ADHD? Games help with all of it. There's even an FDA-approved video game called EndeavorRx. Yep, a prescription game for treating ADHD in kids. Take that to your doctor. Medical students learn better with gaming. You see, textbooks used to be the way, but now it doesn't grasp the attention anymore. Modern med students use 3D anatomy worlds, realistic surgery sims, and gamified puzzles. They're basically learning like they're exploring an open world RPG. Now we can all join the game life in real time and have our stats up with our very own health tracking system, aka the Gaming XP system. Your Fitbit, Apple Ring, every streak, every step. These are all gamifications. It motivates people to walk more, sleep better, and stay healthy. Gaming mechanics equal healthier lifestyles. Today I did 2,000 steps. At level 37, that's about 560 XP. Let's flip and go! Engines that make games realistic help simulate organs, diseases, and even how viruses spread. Some pandemic simulations literally ran on the game engines. And last but not least, here's the cherry on top. Some surgical robots and prosthetics are controlled with Xbox or PlayStation controllers. Hospitals use them because gamers pick them up instantly. Imagine saving a life with an Xbox controller. So, gaming didn't just change entertainment. It changed medicine, surgery, therapy, training, and the future of health. Next time someone says gaming is a waste of time, show them this video. What game topic should we dive into next? Like if you learned something, and subscribe for more gaming deep dives. Also, I've left a link below on a very cool article called Video Games in Healthcare, Closing the Gap, written by Pamela M. Kato, whom is from the University Medical Center Utrecht. Give it a read. And again, thank you for tuning in.